everyone.
That was so fucking awkward. I have no idea why we decided to start the scene like that.
Ah, Granny. You're back.
So, no good news
It
for
took
me
you
then?
an entire night to peruse his home? Good grief.
You saw right through me. The Traveler collected a lot
Did
of
I?
spirits, and I checked all
I
of
didn't
them
do
one by
anything.
one. None of them matches Leela's description.
I figured. It was written all over your face. It's alright. I didn't exactly have high hopes for the needle in a haystack approach anyway.
Leela's condition is still stable, but we're not really getting anywhere.
That's so strange that it just hand waves that. It seems like such a core part of the story, even though it's set to fail. We still should have done it. And yet, you didn't let me do the minigame before having this conversation. So it feels like the minigame doesn't relate to what we just did, even though I thought that's the way they were setting it up. So it feels like we've just skipped that entire chunk of the story. And that just feels weird. This pacing is weird.
Well, luckily, I made some progress on my end. Leela's parents told me that he made a new friend recently, and apparently he's been out of the house for days at a time. On one occasion, they secretly followed him and saw him and his friend tinkering around with something at a camp.
They saw his friend?
Yeah, some guy who goes by the name Kokuchu, dressed in what looked like Inazuman attire.
Is this really all I'll need, Mr. Kokachu?
Based on my studies of the ancient texts, hypersensitivity is usually treated with desensitization therapy. So, I figure there's no reason it shouldn't work in reverse.
So you have no proof or basis of proof for this assumption. You're just like, nah, surely it's gotta work. Give it a whirl. Wow.
Now, for a poor chap like yourself with no sensitivity to spirits whatsoever, you'll have to completely immerse yourself in spiritually rich substances for this to be effective. I'm electing to name this approach hypersensitization therapy.
What is this guy hoping to achieve?
Is it risky?
Sounds it.
You're the spirit duffer, not me. I'm sure you're more clued up than I am on the potential consequences of brute force clairvoyance. Ultimately, it's your decision.
This guy's a master manipulator.
All right, but I do have one last question. What's in this for you?
That's what I said.
People like me obviously don't have much clout in this tribe, so it's not like I can offer you much in return.
You think I'm looking for a reward? Oh, my good sir, take a look at my face. Isn't the answer written here clear as day?
Yeah, that you're using this dude to get you to your own ends.
What? What's written there?
His voice actor seems familiar.
Just a friendly guy who's happy to help.
Yeah, that's not what your face or your tone tells me.
What? So some random guy from Inazuma just felt like helping Leela cure his spirit deaferness?
And how does someone from Inazuma even know that's a thing?
Hypersensitization therapy, huh? What a novel idea. Could that really work?
No.
Not on Leela by the looks of things.
It's anything but novel. Our tribe used to offer it as a treatment once upon a time. But it was so fraught with risks and had such an abysmal success rate that it was eventually outlawed. As for this Kokuchu fellow, I'm sure he has his own agenda.
No shit.
He conveniently disappeared right after Leela got into this mess. Leela's parents gave me the address of the camp, so I went and checked it out. There were clear traces of spiritual energy. And also, look what I found.
I don't get it. What is it? Is it like the hilt of a bow?
What's this?
A broken shard. Probably from a weapon or some sort of ceremonial implement. You feel that? It might look old, but it has extremely strong traces of spiritual energy.
I mean, I was assuming it was the handguard of the bow that what's-his-face used. Old spiritual legend starting with S. See, I don't even remember his name. Sanyob? I don't know that dude.
Leela must have used this as his medium. It would definitely explain how a spirit duffer like him was able to trigger a clairvoyant experience.
Every single time she says it so disparagingly. A spirit duffer like him. It's not his fault. He was just born this way. Oh my gosh.
Wait, there's something else. It feels so familiar. I think this is somehow connected to my ancient name.
The fact that I, a nonchalant, casual observer, came to that conclusion before you is embarrassing.
Connected how? Is it like a shard of an ancient name?
We just said it was a weapon, Paimon. Were you not
No,
listening?
More like, I think this item might
Sandhaj,
have belonged
that's the
to
one.
a previous bearer of my ancient name.
Okay, that's it. Granny's getting itchy clairvoyance fingers. I'm going to try using this shard as a medium.
Cool, same as last time? The Traveler can use the Spirit Loom to record what you find on a woven scroll.
Nope. Auroron can do the recording this time.
Why?
It's a safety measure. You have a better understanding of the spirit domain than the Traveler. If this really is a Sandhaj relic, you'll be better placed to deal with the fallout in the event that something goes wrong.
I'm confused. What can go wrong? And how does that have anything to do with this? I don't understand the crux of what we're doing here. The way she originally explained it made it sound like during the ritual, somehow she was going to put a picture onto the spirit loom and I was supposed to somehow transpose it onto woven scrolls, which makes no sense because you've already got it visually. Why do you need to double visualize it? I'm so confused. And then she just said the reverse there. She said that she's putting it on the woven scrolls and I'm putting it on the woven spirit loom, which is weird because, like I said, it's the complete opposite of what she originally said. But I still don't understand what are we putting down? I don't get it. And if you're not writing anything down or drawing anything, how am I getting the image to then put it into order? This has not been explained very well. I don't understand the semantics, the specifics, the logistics of this. What are we actually doing? And how is there blowback from merely interpreting what you create? I don't understand.
See, Paimon? Told you Granny has a soft spot for the Traveler. Look at her not wanting to put her in danger. Meanwhile, I'm just a grandkid, so I'm expendable.
Hey, what are you blabbing on about?
Sorry, Granny. I'm ready now.
Then let us begin.
That actually was quite good. So Lily starts her second clairvoyance session with the mysterious shard as her medium. Auroran follows her lead, using the spirit loom to record the images she sees on a woven scroll. See, I don't understand. What is this? So he is using the spirit loom to somehow weave images, which, for the record, if you've never used a loom before, you're not going to be able to use it successfully. Your image is not going to look anything like an image. So the fact that you can just magically use it, him, because he would have trained in it, but the Traveler, no, she would have focal knowledge about looms. But anyway, we're recording images that she sees on a woven scroll. So is she putting images on a scroll? I don't understand. It's like they're using words to describe what happens, expecting us just to blindly continue on. But I don't get it. How is she putting images onto a scroll? What is this scroll? How is this scroll relevant to the medium process, the clairvoyance? I just don't understand it. It literally doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Soon an image appears. Like, I don't know if it's a translation issue or whether it's just sloppy writing.
Looks like a broken bowl covered in flames.
Like, how is she putting this onto a scroll? Is it just magic and it just appears? Is she drawing it? Like, I need to know more about this manifestation because things need to make sense or I cannot buy it. And this doesn't make sense.
Hey, don't you think one of the pieces looks just like this shard?
Wow, no way, Auroran. How could that possibly be?
You're right. It seems to be from the body of the bow.
Jesus Christ, it's like this is written for children.
I saw a bow just like this in one of Granny's scrolls.
Yes, it's the weapon Sandhaj used in the Battle of the Mare Javari. I guess that proves it. This shard is a bona fide Sandhaj relic.
I could have told you that from the minute you gave us the first picture of Sandhaj.
Good old Sandhaj. The relic's spiritual energy was fluctuating very strongly, but I wasn't in any danger at all. The traveler probably would have been fine as well.
Thanks for the reassurance.
Now that's a true hero, huh? Generations later, and the stuff he used to own is helping to treat spirit duffers.
Well, it's also what got him into this position in the first place.
I still think there's more to this story, though. Kokochu must have had his own motives beyond just treating Leela's condition.
Well, okay, we saw the full bow just now, right? Maybe he wanted to see it too, so he could track down the other pieces.
I don't know if he'd have anything to gain by doing that. Even if they're Sanhaj relics, I still doubt he'd have much use for a broken bow.
But he could sell it, or he could get prestige for having found Sanhaj's bow. I don't know, they're motivations.
Also, why use a spirit duffer in that case? You're basically setting yourself up for failure.
Also true.
Huh? Layla's body is responding.
Let me take a look. I can sense a spirit being drawn to the relic.
Looks like Granny's plan is working. Leela's spirit is being drawn to the bait.
Are you sure it's Leela's spirit?
In that case, let me try again. This time using both Leela's body and the shard as mediums.
You can do it, Granny. I'm ready to go too.
What if we get Sanhaj's spirit back? Has anyone thought about that? Actually, can I control the spirit loom this time?
You got the itch too, huh?
Plus, Auroron went last time. It's only fair to take it in turns.
Fine by me. We know it's safe now, so you shouldn't have any
We
problems.
don't know that. We know it was safe in the instance of last time, but this is a new instance. And it's not like I'm actually doing anything.
All right, if you insist. Be my guest. Just let me know when you're ready.
Sure, I'm ready for more confusion.
You ready? All right.
I mean, does it matter? You literally just... Hello? No. Can you go here? It doesn't want to go. I can see where it has to go, but it's just not landing there. Okay. That sucks. We'll put this first then, if that helps. Yep, that seems fine. Now will you please? Oh, now it will. Whatever. Whatever.
Another image has appeared. This one is a map.
It is a map.
A map? Of where?
Dude, this is your land, not mine. You tell me what it's a map of.
Could it be the Mare Javari?
The Mare Javari?
The Mare Javari was reduced to a desolate wasteland after that big battle. Or rather, it became known as the Mare Javari after what happened there. The ashes of the monsters and warriors who fought there covered the entire battlefield. Sometimes, bone-chilling cries would be heard from the depths. Other times, the whole region would become engulfed in towering flames, drowning out the cries.
Good lord.
That place is full of untold dangers and mysteries. Over the centuries, the finest adventurers have tried to prove themselves by venturing in. Sadly, most ended up perishing there.
Are we gonna get to go there?
That lasted up until around 20 or 30 years ago, when strange things started happening. People started speaking of an enormous dark creature the size of a mountain, roaming around inside the Mare Javari.
Sounds like the kind of thing we'd take care of.
And then, shortly after
boss.
that, the whole region just completely disappeared. Nobody knows how, but that infamously ominous place just vanished from the face of the world.
What? How the heck?
I know, right? Anyway, if I'm not mistaken, the place indicated on this map is where it used to be before it disappeared.
And that is where?
At the westernmost part of Natlan.
Obviously.
It's a very remote location,
I could've told you
far
that.
away from any of the tribes. There never used to be a settlement there, but there's more people since the Mare Javari disappeared. Anyway, that's just what I've heard. I've never been there myself. This is what age does to you. The older you get, the less adventurous you become.
Unfortunately, that is true.
That's just an excuse. Granny's too lazy to take a trip that far away.
Hold on a second. There's a spirit approaching the shard and the woven scroll.
Oh, Leela's body is responding again!
Quite a strong reaction this time. Does this mean what he was really seeking was the Mare Javari's location?
I sense it too. There's a soul nearby. Almost a complete one.
Almost a complete one? What does that mean? I thought you were the only one who had incomplete souls.
This is creeping Paimon out!
Seems like the plan is working.
So, can we just wake him up now?
Not today. You might think bringing a spirit back into its body is like pouring water from one bottle into another, but it's far more complicated than that. I need to borrow a ceremonial sword and make some other preparations. It'll take me about 2 days.
Can I point out, Sitlali, that he can't survive more than 6 days without water? So you might want to start hydrating him.
But don't worry. Now that his spirit's returned, there's just one step left. Let's meet up again in 2 days.
I really hope you're hydrating him. Because we don't know how long he's been in this state before we got here. You know? Sorry, buddy. I'm doing what I can. So can I do this thing now? What is the point on having the events here if you can't do the minigames at all? What's the point? Nobody wants to just cram in the minigames after you've done the story quests. It's better to intersperse them, but you're not letting me intersperse them. This is not well done. If you can't do them in between the quests, don't put them on the map and have me able to select them. It's so silly.
Greetings again, everyone.
See, Lolly, you're here!
I got the ceremonial sword from the chief. It has a certain power that's needed in situations like this.
It took you 2 days to get the sword from the chief of the tribe you live in. Why did that take you so long?
You haven't forgotten what we're doing today, right?
Of course not! We're gonna wake Leela up, and then ask him just what the heck he was playing at.
And I've prepared the rest of the tools for the ceremony per Granny's instructions. We've dotted all our I's and crossed all our T's, so today should go off without a hitch.
Now that you've said that.
Good work, kiddo. Then without further ado, let's get started.
Sitlali summons a ceremonial sword calamity
I
of
give offerings
something.
from the mystic smoke, the gift of stars on a moonless night, a wreath of dreams in the swirling wind. Glory be to the ruler of death. Fade, fade, fade. Thrice uttered and thrice repeated.
Whoa! Is this one of her magic spells? This whole place suddenly got cold. What's happening?
You know, you should be able to focus better if you shut up, Paimon.
Keep your voice down. We mustn't disturb her.
We, the children of the Priest King, swear to abide by the ancient pact and tear through the veil of the Night Realm. I am Sitlali. Hear my command. I am the Shepherd of Doomsday. I am Akul Batil.
Oh, look! Leela's spirit is back. It's coming towards his body.
But is it whole? You said an almost whole spirit was nearby.
I shall pierce the cloak of night with flintstone and banish all souls that do not belong to the land of the dead. Leela, obey my command and return to the land where the sun shines. Return to your own path.
Did it work?
Huh? Where am I? And who are you? Whoa! Granny Eatsley! I mean, High Priestess Sitlali! Please have mercy!
Oh, guilty conscience, huh? So, you know full well what you've done. Do you have any idea how close you were to never making it back? Or maybe you thought life would be more fun as an inanimate object.
I'm sorry. I messed up, and I'll face the consequences.
You just did face the consequences. Although, did he though? He suffered the consequences, but he didn't face them because he didn't really experience the consequences.
Oh, you sure about that? Then say goodbye to your parents. Tell them this. Goodbye, Mom and Dad. I've realized I enjoy life as an empty shell so much that I've decided to get Granny Eatsley to turn me into a stone statue, so I can stand guard over her house for the next 100 years.
No, please. Please don't. I'm begging you. I'll never do this again, I promise. Thank you, High Priestess Seatlolly. Thank you for rescuing me.
Don't thank me. Thank my grandson. If he hadn't sensed something was amiss, I wouldn't have bothered getting involved.
You're more than welcome, Leela. And don't mind Granny. She's all bark and no
Typo.
bite. We're just glad that you're okay. Besides, someone tricked you into doing this, didn't they? That Kukju guy. He's the real culprit here.
You missed an entire letter there. Or in other words, an entire syllable.
No, Mr. Kokuchu had nothing to do with it. It was all my doing.
I think you were manipulated.
Well, I mean, he suggested the method of using a powerful spirit relic as a medium, but it was my decision to
That's
go through
because
with
you're
it.
stupid.
I wasn't coerced or anything. I'm sorry. I'm the one to blame.
The brainwashing is strong with this one.
Right?
So did Kokuchu provide the relic?
He did. He said it was a treasure related to the Mare Javari.
But how did he get his hands on it? And why is he interested in it?
Right, so that proves it. He was using you. He coaxed you into doing the clairvoyance for him.
But I'm a spirit duffer who can't cast a single spell. What use would I be to him?
Maybe that's exactly what he needed. Someone whose own inherent abilities wouldn't waylay the abilities of the bow.
Guys like me couldn't sense a spirit even if we spent the rest of our lives sitting and meditating. But Mr. Kokuchu said that if I brute force the spell and immerse myself in a spiritually rich substance, I might be able to catch a glimpse of one. It seems like my only option.
It seems like he wanted to rip your soul out of your body so he can use your body for a purpose.
Still, brute forcing a spell when you're a spirit duffer is like forcing yourself to run a marathon without any legs. If it wasn't for Seatlolly, you'd have been lost forever.
I know, I'm sorry. It's just... everyone in this tribe is so amazingly talented, and then there's me. I just didn't want to be the odd one out anymore.
Surely there's something you're good at, right?
I totally understand how you feel, Leela. Some seeds effortlessly grow into beautiful cabbages, while others struggle with all their might and never even sprout. Who knows why this is the way things are? Maybe that's just life. Life is full of things we can't change. I know saying this doesn't change anything either, but I hope it makes you feel a little better.
Let's pause this discussion for now. We need to get you to Matla's for a checkup.
Are we gonna ask him why he did what he did? Head to where the witch doctor Matla is. And we just left the sword there? Why did we just leave the sword there? Huh? Ah. Okay, I tried to jump. It didn't quite work. Was there a pyroculus? I swear I just heard a pyroculus. It's not appearing on the minimap.
Okay, looking good. Seems like this guy got off lightly. Just make sure he eats when you get back. Phew, he must be starving.
What's what I said, though, about hydration?
That's relief. I've heard of cases where people's bodies started necrotizing after they spent too long meditating.
What a horrifying thought!
Anyway, Leela, Even though we didn't know each other before all this, I'm still really glad that you're okay now.
Well, maybe you don't know me, but I've heard all about you.
Creepy.
The same goes for High Priestess Citlali, the Traveler, and Paimon. I've heard all the stories.
Doubly creepy.
Huh? Even us?
This might sound corny, but you're exactly the kind of people I've always dreamed of becoming. But it's clear to me now. That was just wishful thinking.
Why? I don't have any proclivities towards spirit.
Honestly, why'd I have to be born a spirit duffer? Nah, it's alright, really. I'm used to being useless by now. Thank you all for saving me.
Again, I don't have any spiritual talents, so I'm not quite sure why you're admiring me and grouping me into the same group as Citlali and Auroron. But also, again, do you not have any talents or abilities of your own, any skills? Have you not worked towards anything in your life? Have you been okay just, dwelling in mediocrity? Because in which case, I have no sympathy for you. If you do not choose to better your own life, that's your own problem.
Auroron, I think you're right. It's just a fact of life. I promise I won't take another risk like this in the future. I've brought you more than enough trouble already.
Aw, Leela.
I feel pity for him. Is no one going to ask what he did specifically and why?
It's okay. There's no need to comfort me.
Why he was looking for the spirituality, the clairvoyance?
Hey, you little rascal. What are you talking about? Look at me.
Huh? What's wrong, High Priestess Citlali?
I said, look at me. Take a good hard look. Sense anything strange?
Should I?
Granny, what are you talking about?
Yeah, right.
What do you think, Traveler? Another case of happy to help written on someone's face?
Hold on. I think... either my mind's playing tricks on me, or her entire body is an illusion. No, it must just be my imagination. I wouldn't be able to see through something like that.
Wait, I know this trick. It's the same one I used a while back. Granny snuck away from right under our noses.
You see? You can perceive some spiritual abnormalities now. Congratulations.
Who cares though? It doesn't get him anywhere in life.
Really?
But where are you going, Granny?
Where do you think? I'm going fishing, you dummy. Someone triggered the trap I set in the cave. Looks like our friend Kokochu took the bait.
What?
And you didn't invite us along with you? Rude.
Sorry, can't talk now. You'll find me in the cave.
There's no reason why we couldn't have all gone together. And you still didn't explain why Ois disappeared. Why you did all this in the first place. Is it just because he wanted to have spirit sensibility? Because that's a really lame motivation for this quest. I would have preferred if he wanted to connect with a particular spirit. He wanted to actually achieve something specific. Learn more about the Mayor Javari incident. Maybe he admires the... shit, I forgot his... Sanhaj. Or whatever. Those seem like really cool motivations, and I could have been behind that because it leads to a greater story and greater character depth. Just, woe is me. Everyone around me can see spiritual stuff and I can't. I'm just going to do this thing to try and brute force it. That's a really weak story and a weak motivation. I would have much preferred... Oh! I am not going to get it at this altitude, I think. Oh. But this one is just not very interesting. I just find it weak comparatively. Like, yes, I can't do it, and yes, my life is sad as a result, but I have a greater incentive for wanting to try this than just because I'm jealous and feel inadequate. Because I don't find them very interesting motivations to listen about. Your inadequacies, dude, are not my problem. My character can't see spirits. Do you see her getting all woe is me about it? No. Yes, she wasn't born in this tribe, so I guess it's not quite the same. But the point of it still. stands, he's not here. And neither is Auroran. But the sword is still here.